Hello, this is Mrs. Krieger, and today we are going to work on improving our search skills by going from the question to the query. In the past, to find the answers to our questions, we had to ask advice from the wise.
Mr. Turtle, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
I never made it without biting. Ask Mr. Owl, for he is the wisest of us all.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
A good question. Let's find out. 1, 2, 3.
If there's anything I can't stand, it's a smart owl.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
Today, thanks to the Internet and the vast knowledge available on it, we can find the answers to our own questions by writing an effective query. What is a query, you may ask? To query describes the entire search process. An individual query is exactly what you ask your search engine to look for. A question is not a query. Think instead of a question as the first step in forming your query and beginning the process of inquiry. Understanding this distinction allows you to create a query in the most meaningful and effective manner by directly crafting the keywords and syntax that will begin your search. To do this, you must understand how to select keywords and use operators. A query is made up of keywords that describe your topic and focus the retrieval process. Never enter an entire question as your search query. When you ask a question, you have the beginnings of a query. To start building your query, find the keywords in your question. Keywords are any word that is used to query a search engine. Essential keywords are sure to return what you are looking for. Powerful keywords return what you are looking for closer to the top of the list. If you ask, how many buffalo are there in North America today? Search engines today will return relevant results. But the best approach is always to find the fewest words possible, although more than one word is usually required. In this question, the keywords are buffalo and North America. Searching for just Buffalo, North America may not get the job done for your query. As you look at this question, you may realize that there is another word for buffalo, bison. That could improve your query results. This is called an intermediate word. Intermediate words are words that may need to be rewritten or substituted with either another form of the word, synonyms, or professional vocabulary. We identified buffalo as a key word in our previous example, but we said that buffalo, another word for that, is bison. There are also some other words in here that could be rewritten. Instead of how many, we could use the word quantity, and instead of today, we could use the word current. Clutter words make your search ineffective. Therefore, it is best to leave them out of your query. Clutter words are terms in a question that are redundant. They are words that express ideas unrelated to the subject of the search. They detract from a query's effectiveness. In our example, how many buffalo are there in North America today? There are no clutter words. Stop words are those words that are completely not necessary and are ignored by most search engines. Stop words are insignificant parts of speech, like articles, pronouns, prepositions, etc. Most search engines will ignore them unless they are placed inside of quotations. In our question, how many buffalo are there in North America today? The word how, the words are there in, and that question mark are not needed as part of the query. So our final query would need to be rewritten a little bit and would have the words current quantity, North America, bison. We want to put current quantity together and North America together, as those words have a significant string value. As you begin to take your questions and convert them into queries, please keep the following in mind. First, how many key concepts or important ideas are found in the question? Second, how many key concepts will you need to search for? Then, what key words are probably effective as is? For which of these concepts are more effective keywords probably needed? Are there synonyms or professional language for any of the intermediate words? Are there words that have multiple meanings? Did you use any stop or clutter words in your search query? Did you spell the words correctly? Did you put the most important words first? Keeping these tips in mind will lead to a successful query. Now it's time to put it into practice. As we practice our skills of taking a question and converting it into a query, we are going to complete this keyword challenge called the Diamond Challenge. The first step in power searching is to know what you are looking for. Studying the words in a search problem improves your understanding of the search and results in a more effective query. There are 4 categories of words that make up most search tasks. The first are keywords that are probably effective as is. To review what a keyword is any word used to query a search engine. Essential keywords are sure to return what you are looking for, even though it may be buried in a list of results. Powerful keywords return what you are looking for closer to the top of the list. The second type of words are intermediate words that represent important ideas but probably aren't effective keywords as is. Just to review intermediate words, for most intermediate words, there exist powerful keywords that are likely to raise your return to the top of list. Oftentimes, the challenge is to find either the right form of the intermediate word or unique synonyms or professional vocabulary that may be substituted for the word. Third, there are words that probably have little effect on the outcome. Those were called clutter words. They are terms in a search problem that are redundant or express ideas unrelated to the subject of the search problem. They may detract from a query's effectiveness, and it is best not to use them. Last, stop words are ignored by the search engine. Remember, stop words are those insignificant parts of speech, like articles, pronouns, prepositions, that a search engine is designed to ignore unless you place them inside your quotes. We want to see if we can find what words belong in each of these categories. So let's try it out. Directions say to drag each word below to the matching marquee, and we need to identify the keywords that are effective as is, the important ideas for which alternative words may be effective, words that will probably have little effect, and the stop words that are unnecessary to use. The question is, which blue diamond turns red when exposed to UV rays? Let's see if we can figure out the keywords first. Well, obviously diamond is important. Blue, the fact that it's a blue diamond, is probably important as well. What about which? Well, which is a word that we probably don't need, so we're going to put that down here in the stop words. Turns is important, but maybe we would use another word like changes, so let's try putting that here in important ideas. I think that red is important. When, probably not so important. To, we know is not important. UV. Now UV is an abbreviation, so there's some other words. That stands for ultraviolet, so let's put that there in important words. And let's put exposed and rays in words that will probably not have a lot of effect. Now we're going to check our results and see how we did. We got it right. If we wanted to see an explanation, it explains here that we had correctly identified blue, diamond, and red as our keywords that we should keep in our search. We also correctly identified that turns and UV should be included. So for turns, we'd probably put changes, and for UV, we would probably put ultraviolet if we were doing the search. We also correctly identified that exposed and rays are probably not going to have an effect on our search, and that we don't need the words which, when, and to at all. So how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? Well, if we know how to take that question and convert it to a query successfully, we can find the answer. Our key words are Tootsie, Pop, and licks. How many licks does it take? Looks like there have been 3 studies. Purdue University, it took 364 licks, and then when some volunteers did it, they averaged 252. University of Michigan made a machine and it required 411 licks, and Swarthmore Junior High did a study and it took 144 licks. It appears to be somewhere between 144 and 411. Perhaps we'll never know.